Alright, and we are back. And I know, you must be thinking, well, what's going on? What's this on my screen? You must be confused. Because you know in the last episode, we beat Whitney, we reached Azalea. So why is this video currently playing? And you're right. We did do well. But, whew, boy, do I have a story for you. So, as you know, if you keep up with the channel at all, I got a new job. I get new jobs frequently, right? But this one here, I like this one. I always like my jobs, but just crap happens. So it's keeping me fairly busy, and much like every other run you've seen, normally what I'll do is I'll do a bulk of videos at the start, because I get really into the run. And I'm keen to start a new game, because like when you lose your previous runs, like in the last game, you know, it starts to grind in you a bit. You're sitting there like, I just do it by myself, talking to myself for hours at a time. It starts to grind in your mental state, it does. And then, you know, so I make all the videos in bulk, and then I slowly drop off with my time being taken up with like life stuff, like church and gym, and I still do programs and stuff like that. Work's the big one though. It's been keeping me like 6 days a week, so this is why this video is taking so long to come out. Because as you can see, it's actually got a bit of editing to it, unlike anything else that I do. Like, I actually had to sort through the video and find the stuff that's important. So here's what happened. So after weeks of working like 6 days a week, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that, and still training, blah, blah, blah. I finally got to catch up on playing. I finally got to catch up on getting back into, or not really catch up, but I got back onto the computer, and was like, sweet, I can start playing, because I'd caught up on my editing. All my editing was up to date with the videos, and I had nothing else to upload and to record, or to record and upload, whatever. So I had to start recording again. And lo and behold, I boot up the game, and there was no save data. No internal save, and only one save state from just before choosing my starter on the first run. So on attempt 1, which we also had to reset, if you remember, because it broke. And I hadn't saved it. Which I found a workaround for that as well. Apparently you can just save it when it starts to glitch, and then reset the ROM, and it goes back to, or reset the emulator, and it goes back to playing like normal. There's hours of play gone, as you know. Had no clue what to do, so I googled it. I found that I wasn't the only problem. I wasn't the only person to have this problem, and whilst no one really had a reason as to why, they at least had a fix. So Google led me some random YouTube channel run by some guy who barely spoke English. But he still went step by step on how to recover the save, and his bio had like the link to the software he used, which was, I don't even know what it was now that I think about it, because I had to uninstall it all. Because I went through, I installed some random.exe that some random bloke had linked on his YouTube video, completely leaving my computer's health to fate. Alright, but I do that a lot, so who cares? But it turned out okay, and after some trial and error, because it was like you had to upload like the ROM save file, like the .NEUS or NDUS file or whatever it is, and then choose like what output you want it to be in, which had to be the same one as the emulator reads for save files, right? And so I recovered it like once, and I went into it, and it didn't work. It didn't register that it was there as a save state, and it didn't load straight in either as like an internal game save state or game file from the actual Pokemon game. So I did it again and did it again, and it's like it's recovering, or it's trying to, because the file size got bigger and bigger, but the emulator refused to find the file. So I just did it a couple more times. It just didn't work. And so I went back to the YouTube video, and it was about a 50-50 ratio of people saying it worked and others saying it didn't. There was even like a broken link at one point, so who even knows? I still have the software just in case, but for me, it didn't really do much. And then, so now I'm back at square one. I'm back to square one. We're back to freaking, I googled a few more times to see if I could figure out how to save the file or what to do next time. It's literally just, before I quit the game, just make a save state. Make a save state, and it'll be fine, because then the save state will probably always be there. But for some reason, the internal save just wasn't there. I don't know why. Alright, so if it glitches out, like with my guy, what are they called? My sprite. If that gets all screwed up, I can just save the game in game, reset the emulator. It goes back to normal. I hit continue. It's fine. And when I want to quit and actually like close off and stuff, because my computer's been resetting itself, I just save state, quit, and I'm good. And so, the biggest problem is having to replay the game again. And I know you're probably thinking, well, you know, you've got speed up and you got the rare candy cheats and you're back where you were fairly quick. As you can see by the upload date of this and when the last upload date of the last video came out, no, it took me way too long. It took me way too long because I'm an idiot. You underestimate how stupid I am. Alright? Because the speed up was fine. The speed up's always going to be there, and as you can see from the video, it's pretty fast. I didn't really want to make this video too long, but it's probably going to be fairly long just for catching stuff up. And you're right about the rare candy part, right? You're right about it. And I don't remember when I noticed it, but I was trying to turn the rare candies on because I was running the same path that I was normally doing in the previous runs, which was fight everyone first, and then when I was out of trainers, I could just rare candy from there to the level cap, and then just do the gym and then move on. Right, so I don't know if it was until like maybe before Whitney or whatever, but I kept trying the rare candy hack, and it just wasn't working, and I just couldn't get it working. I didn't know why, and like I said, I don't know when I figured it out, but eventually I noticed. I feel like it was around about the time I fought Whitney again. So in this current run where I fought Whitney again, because we're back up to Azalea Town. You'll see it in the video. I'm just showing you all the captures and the gym fights and like major fights where you'd probably lose. And any lost Pokemon, I think, too. But I only really lost Pokemon in major fights, which makes things easy, if I remember correctly. Because even then, I'm recording the audio several days after actually doing the video footage edit, which was several days, if not a week, after I'd recorded it all. So, this isn't all in one take, which is really upsetting. Turns out in the end, back to the hack thing, right? Because you know I run the emulator, smartest way to do it. I had cheats disabled. It was a little checkbox, and I don't know when I clicked it. I don't know why I clicked it. I don't know if it just did it because it reset, right? But it just was checked, and that's why it wasn't turning off. So I unchecked it, and I did the whole up and left or whatever it is, up and L and R, I think. And lo and behold, done. I had my cheats back, but I think this was around about the time of Whitney, and I might have already beaten Whitney, or maybe it was just before Whitney, and then I managed to like rare candy for her fight, and it's still just like, mate, too much of an ordeal for a Pokemon game, because we were doing well in that second run, finishing up on the Heracross, or losing the Heracross to Whitney, but still having a pretty decent T. So that's why the video is like the way that it is now, which is just fantastic. So that was all that. That was the reason as to why the game's been, the uploads have been delayed for a little bit, why I have to reset the stupid thing. Don't know if it was my fault or not, don't know if I mean, realistically, I probably could just save state it again, but that's it. I think this is like a 30-minute video, which kind of sucks ass, but what are you going to do about it? So I'm just going to talk for a bit. I think with, maybe some life updates, some stuff that I want to do with the channel, which I know I've spoken about before, but it's probably the best time to do it whilst we're like mid-run. And what is it? That last audio was 7 minutes, so about 23 minutes to just, or maybe even less than, or maybe even a little more than that. I think it's a 33-minute video. Jeez, I had so much content. I should have just done the major battles. And not even worried about the Pokemon that I caught, but even then, it's all sped up pretty fast, so I can't believe I still got 33 minutes of content. Which, by the way, was many hours of playing, because let's think, I'm just looking at my my actual video as this goes, because I just scripted all that last part and did it as best I could, so the 7-minute mark puts me just before. So where are we? Yeah, okay, so if I talk for a couple more minutes, you'll see something funny. But I gotta like think in the future, man. I gotta think in the future and just be like, what are you guys currently watching? What did you just see whilst I was rambling about why I have to start again? But I definitely not so much make the channel more kid friendly, but make it so then I can tick the box that it is safe for children, or it is content for kids. And I think all I really have to do for that is just stop swearing so much, which I have to do anyway, because I want to be a good Christian man. And cussing is just, it's kind of dirty. But man, am I an angry person. Man, am I angry all the damn time. I got sick this last week, and I was pissed the whole time. I was angry because I couldn't train. But I went to Yu-Gi-Oh! A few times. I think I went to Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 3 times this week, or last week. And because then going into this week, I only have like 2 days of work because I'm at the whim of the participants' parents, which is fine. Like, you know, I work in disability now. Yeah, they're lovely people. Everyone's really, really cool, from the participants to the parents, and we're opening up another hub space in the town that I live in, so I don't have to drive so far. So it'll all work out eventually, but definitely I want to clean up the channel a little bit with the cursing and stuff, because I don't think it's as funny as I used to think it was. Because I went from being what I thought, this would be pretty funny, to me just being mad, me just getting angry at a freaking kids game. So yes, I would like to, you know, be able to click that button saying, it's good for kids. Because really, I do Pokemon stuff. It is for kids, you know what I mean? Like, it's a kids game, and I just do the hard stuff. But it doesn't mean that the context or the content of what I talk about will be like, I'm not going to become one of those high-pitched, everything's exciting, we're going to open up a pack of bullshit. There we go, I just already did it. But that should still be okay. They won't pick that up, because I speak Australian, so they don't know. I don't think the computer can pick that up. I don't even know how YouTube works that, like, because I hear things saying that, you just can't swear for the first couple of minutes because, you know, that's just what their systems do and blah blah blah. And I'm like, is that a risk I want to take though? Because don't get me wrong, I don't see myself doing this full time. I wouldn't mind it, but it just means I need to learn how to edit better. So I wouldn't mind like being able to do something like part time and earning a little bit of quiche off it, just so then, you know, it could, because I'm already doing it. So if you can make money off it, that's fantastic. But you know, and if maybe some more kids watch it or stuff like that, then I can just put the views up a bit, because I think it's just a bit, like, because my views are all over the joint, as you can see. Like, the last video I think got like 12 views, and the one before that got 30. And I'm like, well, what set that one off? Because I guess it was the Whitney fight, so that's pretty interesting to people. I think this Whitney fight in this current video is better than the previous one. I think I did way better with it, and it's more interesting too because of what I used. I think I did quite well. I think I'm not too bad at the game. I think I just, much like with Yu-Gi-Oh, I rush things too much, especially playing Yu-Gi-Oh TCG, because you do, because I get locals, and you do best of 3 in 45 minutes. So sometimes it's like, if I'm sitting there thinking too long, it just might be like the opponent might just like lose to time or whatever like that, or even like draw to time, which is still just a bit of a pain in the butt, which that still annoys me though, because I think there are several times now that I've drawn with someone in the 3rd round or whatever. In one of them on this last Saturday just gone, I drew in the 2nd round because I won the first one, and then he just got in enough damage in the time rules, so like the time went off, and he won by like 3,000 life points. But it's like, I had game next turn. Like, I could have just done 8,000 damage to him next turn, because I'm currently running ninjas, so they all attack directly, and I had the stuff in hand and on field to get to that point, which was nuts. So that, yeah, it happened again the same day on Saturday, where we went to tie 1-1, one lost one, and then we drew on the 3rd to time. Once again though, because he's like, I would have won if we could just play it, because I would have done this and then lava golemed, and then pass turn, and then it goes to standby. But I don't think we even had enough time for that to work, because you still got to run through your phases. But the thing that annoys me there is that regardless of the lava golem, right? Regardless of the lava golem, yeah, you take 1,000 for standby, but flip it to attack. I had full combo in hand from that point. Anyway, like, I only had 2 cards on field, but I go full combo from that point, and just give Lava Golem that the Iron Digger equip spell. If anyone knows about Yu-Gi-Oh, you should know what I'm talking about. Ninjas are currently like some weird, not meta breaking, but they definitely have a bit of a standing in this current format, with Kashtira sucking more than people thought. It's like, yeah, if Kashtira goes, but book a moon, mate. Just book a moon 'em. You know, so yeah, and then, you know, and I had full combo then, and then it would have all been done, because like that equip spell turns whatever I equip it to a ninja, and then Maizen makes it so your ninja can attack directly, and then the thing that's equipped to gets 500 attack too. So therefore, between Maizen and Lava Golem, it would have been 6,000 damage just there, and all I would have had to do is put just another 2,000 on board, which is stupid easy to do. It's stupid easy to just bulk up resources in a ninja deck. It's ridiculous, you know. It does well, so I might actually run this deck for a bit. So back to channel stuff. I want to do some more. I don't know how I should do. I want to do Yu-Gi-Oh decks. I feel like I create some pretty cool ones, but they don't do terribly well in a local sense. I might get like a 2-2 or maybe even like a 3-1, depending on how well I go. But like I said, my problem is I just go too fast and I mess up too often and make mistakes, or I don't play the deck for long enough. So there are certain outs that I just don't see, or there's certain plays that I just don't see. I don't play it often enough to really, you know. I also had the problem with, once again, with time rules. Straight back to Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. Went back to channel stuff, but straight back to Yu-Gi-Oh. With time rules, there are certain things that I don't do because I'm like, this is going to require a ruling. I know it is. Like, I think I was versing a kid who was playing Trap Tricks. He played a Paleozoic card. I went to put it into face down with Book of Moon or something like that, or I was going to summon Geo to put it face down. I don't know how trap monsters work getting flipped face down. I don't know what that does to it, so I didn't care. I'm assuming all that happens that it just doesn't get banished when it leaves the field, because the Paleozoics will work on, it's not treated as a trap monster, it's not treated as a trap card, and when it leaves the field it's banished instead, right, because it comes back from grave. But I think that if it was flipped face down, but that's the problem, it can only be on the field because it was brought back from graveyard. It doesn't work for the trap card zone, so therefore it still should go to banished, I guess, but at the same time it's face down. And even then, I don't think I should have cared, because I attacked directly regardless, so I could have just done my thing. But yeah, stuff like that just makes me lose. But like, I want to do more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff on the channel with like Ricky and stuff like that. Maybe even get Harry into it and see if I can get him into Master Duel or some crap, and we can record some duels while we talk some trash. Because I do know that we're going to run through, I probably try and run through Monster Hunter, the new one, Monster Hunter Rise. So these are the things I want to do with the channel. Like, I want to do more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, because I'm really into it right now. And I've now chucked so much money into it that I probably need to play for like another 10 years to make it like justifiable. Because I got so much, it's not funny now. And I just love it. I don't know. I gotta go down and sort all the crap that I bought the other day. But yeah, so I want to do more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. The Pokemon stuff's staying because I just like playing the game. But I might move into like creative ROM hacks and stuff like that rather than difficulty ROM hacks, because I'm kind of crap at the game too. So, you know, it's just, if I was streaming it, I would probably be more inclined to do more difficulty ROM hacks. So then I could have people to talk to whilst I do it. But realistically, it's just me. Like right now, I wouldn't mind recording more Pokemon after this. But I'm now talking to myself for half an hour, which I've dumbed down a bit. It's gone to like 15 to 20 minutes in the videos now. But as you know, remember my start videos, some of those videos were like an hour long. They were ridiculous, mate. I think I used to include grinding in some of that. Maybe I can't remember. But yeah, it was absolutely insane what I used to do back in like the Red Run. But no, absolutely stupid. So yeah, if I was streaming it, I'd probably be more inclined to do more difficulty stuff. But I think just for the interest of trying out new things, I think it's some of those like ROM hacks, like the Moemon one is pretty funny, but still to keep it like a Nuzlocke. But Moemon is just like the same as Emeralds. It's just changed the sprites and the art, I think. So it's not really too much. But then like there's that one with really, really bad English. They call it English because it's just terrible. And it's not even a difficulty one, but they've got Fakemon in there too, and that's always pretty cool. They're always pretty fun to play around with in that. There's that one that everyone's playing at the moment, that one where you can fuse. Where you can like fuse the Pokemon together and create shit. But I don't know if that's like a full game or not. Or if that's just a fusing like simulator, like, oh, what happened to these two? Like the art style is really cool, but I hope you'll be able to play it. There's that one where you have your own gym, where you have your own gym. But I think it's this gym of mine. That's a pretty cool looking one. Because right now we're playing Storm Silver, so that's just a difficulty hack, and he's just, I think it's Drayano, and I think he's just changed around like how the story goes, so it's more linear rather than being so open, especially at the Azalea point now, which is, we're going into new territory. Like the game's pretty much identical from start to now in terms of story, but I think at around about this point is where it goes more linear, where you will fight Price as the 7th gym leader as you're meant to. Like you don't get a choice, which means there is actually like scaling in here. And I do know there's some forced battles, like a whole Team Rocket section coming up in Cianwood, if I remember correctly. And it's not, they're not easy fights. I'm very curious to see how I go with all of this. My only gripe with this run is that I have to look up the level caps, and I don't, and that means I get to see the team before going in, which I don't really like. I'd like to go in more blind, but what are you going to do? It's either that or I just don't have a level cap and I either go in completely under-leveled, or could I just mess up because I don't know what to do, or, you know, I have to look at the team so that I can see what the highest level is. It's like, what are you going to do about it, you know? So that kind of sucks, but I guess the rest of the game's still a mystery. Like, even right now, I think, we're in Azalea. You're probably not there yet. Where would you be? You are... I should stop talking like this. It's just me talking about the video that you're currently watching. Because if I add 12 minutes to 7, that's 19. So you'd be around here. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you're not even... You know, Azalea, I guess, is the last bit. I'm an idiot. What am I talking about? But yeah. So that's... That'd be pretty interesting. So yeah, channel stuff. I want to swear less, so then I can say that it's kid-friendly, and then we can just get more eyes on it, which then just means it gets out there a bit more, which then means if I can get more support doing this, and for people that actually do like my content, I can make more, because then there's hopefully at some point going to be money behind it, but I'm not banking on it. And then, yeah, go into more of the fun ROM hacks for a bit. Want to do some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, want to do some deck profiles and that, and just stuff that I've come up with, but I don't know if I should run, like, do I have to win a locals before I do a deck profile? Do I have to do a couple wins? Do I say go like a 3-1, or just have a really good weekend at locals and go, yeah, this is the deck that I use for the weekend? But I've got like no real standing in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Because I know I want to do like Master Duel stuff with like Ricky and Harry and that, because Dueling Book annoys the crap out of me. But because I test on Nexus, but Master Duel's a whole different thing. Even like live duels would be pretty cool too. Like the guy that goes to one of the places I go to, it's Grand J. His YouTube is like Ink Bros Gaming. He's pretty funny, but he records the videos that he does, but he does it more vlog style rather than just recording an entire match and having it like that. He'll be more like a vlog, you know. He has his intro and it's all real like boop 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 or whatever, you know, like that chill lo-fi music. Probably not what I just did. That sounds like Stan's dad. Randy, sounds like Randy Marsh. Yeah, on a Wednesday. He's actually Lord, did you know that? But yeah, so he does that, and that would be pretty cool. But I think I just want to do, like, for the TCG stuff, because we do, like, current ban lists and stuff. And I've got so many cards, and a few deck cores, like, done with. I would like to have, like, one of those cameras that hang overhead. And just maybe even like a couple face cameras and just talk crap whilst we do it. A bit like what is it, APS? Is it APS? Those the group of black guys. They do their stuff. I like their stuff for a bit. Their stuff is pretty cool, but there's only so many like structure deck challenge. Which structure deck's better? This one from 2009 or this one from a month ago? Like, oh really? Trap Tricks beat Legend of Blue Eyes? Who would have thought? What do you know, that's just how the bloody game works. But I'd love to hear what you guys think, because then on the same vein of doing more content for the channel, it's going to mean more editing as well. And so this video I don't think was edited great. It's pretty simple. I just had to like go through and cut out all the parts that I didn't want, because it was lots of grinding, it was lots of me sitting there doing nothing because I was like talking to Nat, or I walked off to go grab food and just left it recording. Because I did update OBS, because now it's version 29 apparently. It's like, what, you couldn't get it right with the first one? And I know that in the old one, if I ever hit pause, which it doesn't even look like it's a thing anymore, it looks like they got rid of the pause option, and now you just have to stop recording. Because I know that when I paused it and then came back to it, a lot of the times I would keep recording after the pause, and then when I went to stop recording, it would just not stop and finalize. It would just continue sitting there saying that it was like stopping recording. It would just be there for like 20 minutes. It was stupid. Gotta keep an eye on the time though, so I don't run too long, so you're not just listening to me talk for more time than needed. But yeah, so I do definitely want to, as I say, I do want to do the editing better. I pick up little things here and there. They've changed. I updated Filmora too. And so there was a big problem that I had with it's like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Like, it fixed the problem that I had with the old Filmora, but it also got rid of one of the cool things about Filmora that made my job really easy. Which it's not any harder really. It's just a little bit longer. Which was that if you've used Filmora, if you even know like Photoshop, you know how it's done in layers, and so the videos will be in layers where you have your video, all your visual stuff. So like the pictures, so you know the pictures that I've got, it'll be like the Pokemon, it'll be the badges, it'll be the background. You can have text, and then you have the videos, and then it has audio layers too, which is pure audio, which you can't put like a video layer on. So anything that has an image to it can't go on the audio file, but blah blah blah. And the way it works, much like with Photoshop, is that it works in like a hierarchy. So the one at the top will always be visible, all right? And so there was a big thing with Filmora, the old one, which I would lose my nut on, because it would, if there was some like transitions and stuff and effects that would affect the layer you put it on and every layer below it. This is why I always had to put the video layer as the first one, so then when I do the blurry roll effect at the start, it affects everything and not just the video. Because I put it on, say, the bottom one, the video and all my images, so the bottom one being the background with all the squares where I put everything in, right? So if I put the effect on that one, only that one would spin, and everything else would be just on a standstill. And the other thing that was a problem with this is that you could never put transitions in the middle of the layer. So if you had the layer and it's panned out to 20 minutes, you couldn't just put an effect halfway through it. You'd have to cut it. You'd have to like actually like cut it in half and then put the new layer there, put the new effect on that bit, which once again though would affect everything below it. So with this new one, it looks like they fixed it where you can now put effects, like where effects and transitions wherever you want on the layer without having to change it. But now it only affects the layer that it's on, which is good in the sense of like now I have more options to just like not have to like learn how to like animate in Photoshop, and I can just do it like this instead and see what I can mess around with, right? But it also means that like for the blurry roll stuff, I have to put on every single layer, which, like I said, it's not that big of a deal. I'm being just a sook at this point, you know. But yeah, so that's just what's going on with that. So I'm hoping stuff will get better there as well, and then yeah, and then I probably wouldn't really edit like any Xbox stuff too heavily. It'd be more like along the lines of like if I was doing a challenge run, there'd be text, or if I was doing like even with like Monster Hunter and stuff like that, like there'd be no point putting anything else in there except for like maybe like text. Yeah, just text I think would be the only thing that would really go into it. Maybe some transitions and having to edit out the boring parts. That's part of the editing that no one ever really speaks about. So I think that's about it for the video. I think there's a few minutes left. I don't really have anything else to say though at this point, other than I might be able to catch up on all the Pokemon stuff this week because I don't have much work. So yeah, there's probably not going to be like a transition out or anything because it looks like my audio I might just be done audio before the video is even done. But this is just a catch-up video. This is just what I had to do to get back to it. I hope it was like, if I lose again, I'm thinking I will just edit it just like this, right? And try and just do the major battles and get back up to where we were. And then hopefully I can just put that edit at the start of a video and then continue on with the actual video so you don't have to watch 30 minutes of a catch-up. You can just see gym, maybe like a couple rival fights. And they're all fairly quick anyway, you know, but I showed the whole gyms in and stuff, because I just for transparency's sake, I just want you guys to see that it's all there. I'm not, like, trying to cheat or anything like that, or, like, you know, oh, this actually died in the grass because I was an idiot, I wasn't paying attention, but, you know, I'll keep it anyway, or, you know, it's like, you see the gyms, they're all the hard fights, you see the, you know, you see everything, so then, you know, oh, he kept that, and he didn't mess up here, or blah, 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 you know, just try and keep it nice and transparent so you guys can see everything, but standard end of video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, tell your parents, tell your friends, tell little children now, because I'm gonna try and be a little more cleaner on the words, on the swear words, and just stop doing that and just be a bit more of a chiller dude. Because like I said, I'm not gonna be one of those big pumped up high energy dudes. I just want to play a game that I've loved for years and just chill out and have a bit of fun. But with a bit of a challenge, because, you know, I'm a full-grown man. I shouldn't need to just play like a child unless it's like the first one or something. But even then, I haven't bought like Violet or Scarlet yet, and I probably might even like Nuzlocke those, to be honest, just because it'll be something different for me because I turn 30 this week, by the way, this Friday, because this will probably go up today, which will be the 6th, Monday the 6th. I'm going to try and get this up on, and so then in 4 days time I will be 30. So support your old men, support old men, because we need it. But on that note, take it easy, guys. I'll catch you next time.